So Alberta Innovates is a new entity of the government of Alberta. The intention here is to combine investments in agriculture, food and forestry, which is the group that we work with within BioSolutions, but also looking at energy and environment, health as well, trying to make sure that we have a coordinated effort in making investments for research and new technology. I think the interesting thing has been in the past, Alberta's made significant investments across the board in all areas of technology development. Sometimes we haven't seen the kind of benefits that we might have expected, especially in the area of commercialization, and a little bit of an issue, I think, in thinking of how integration occurs across all of these groups. Within Alberta Innovates, we have a much more coordinated approach, and in the case of BioSolutions, we have now a full license to work across the board, across the continuum, to make sure the right kind of investments are made in agriculture and food. Well, we have a great board that has worked out some very strong strategy for how we make our investments within the province of Alberta, and they've identified 3 areas. Those areas around sustainable production. So there are a lot of things that we're thinking about as far as value chains. We want to make sure that people are producing the highest quality products. We want to make sure that they have the least or the lowest cost of production, and science could play a big role in driving those kind of activities. We also make investments around food, but we think about it more in the continuum between agriculture, food, nutrition. So we have a lot of programs and projects participating with research groups and with food processors, thinking about that next generation of food that the consumers are demanding and are willing to pay a premium price for. And then maybe the newest one for us is something called thinking about the bioeconomy, advancing the bioeconomy. That sounds complex, but really all it is, it's about thinking of the different ways that we produce biomass now. Sure, we've sold into the sort of traditional commodity markets. What else can we do with that biomass? Can we use some of our byproducts to produce chemicals or heat or other kinds of valuable products that people are also willing to pay for? Absolutely, that is certainly the intent, to make sure that we have an increased opportunity for jobs within the province, those more highly qualified, more highly skilled jobs that are associated with value-adding products or bringing new kinds of benefits to the kinds of things that are produced within agriculture. But we also just see that there's an opportunity for, as the research profile of Alberta grows, that global companies start to pay attention. In our case, we work with a lot of those companies to do research in the province. It also gives them a good chance to see all the great things that are going on here as they start to consider all the kinds of commercial investments.
So what kind of companies are involved?
Across the board. So certainly the majors, when I think about the life science companies, on the crop side, it's everybody from Syngenta to Bayer Crop Science to a whole array of others. And a lot of those mid-tier technology companies that are trying to test new ideas out to work with the research groups here in the province of Alberta. Certainly on the livestock side, it's everybody from Marielle and the work with the Livestock Genomics Group to a number of the consumer product companies, Maple Leaf Foods and others are important stakeholders of ours.
So what do you see as one of the most important innovations as we look towards the future?
Well, I think there are a number that are of interesting science areas that are going forward. We've certainly made a big bet on genomics in the province of Alberta. We've brought people in from all over the world to think about really figuring out that roadmap. Once we can associate some of the functions that are going on with, in the case of cattle or pigs, it'll give us a great opportunity to think about how feed is used more efficiently within animals, the quality of the products, the quality of the meat that's coming out of those animals. I think that's superb opportunities. And if there's another one that I would pick out that's probably a little further out on the horizon, it's this whole idea of nanotechnology. Alberta happens to be the location for the Canadian Centre for Nanotech Research. And we've seen a number of interested companies thinking about how you might use this science of the small around everything from different ways of producing food products, introducing new kinds of ways of ensuring that stability is maintained within those products, to some of the more simple things around spray particles for crop protection and those kind of things.